Man of Constant Sorrow was originally
We'll pause the clip right there. If you turn to your right, you'll recognize those stairs. It just got real. Actually, it got fake. All of the brick, all of the stonework you see here is made of fiberglass, a very lightweight material that we can mold, shape, and change the look of the buildings with over and over again. Future. While you're down at the Transformers attraction, be sure to check out the NBC Universal Experience, where you can walk into a little museum which has a DeLorean on display. We have 3 cars in a row from the Flintstone films and 5 cars in the row from Fast and the Furious film franchise. There have been 6 of those movies. Take a look at Fast 6.
It's one of the highly coordinated drivers. Took down a military convoy. I need your help. Full parties all the way around. Take it or leave it.
with me. This is not what we do, guys. They got a tank.
The clock tower from Back to the Future still stands to this day on the left side of the tram. It does look different today than it did during the filming of Back to the Future. The reason why. A show called Ghost Whisperer filmed here with Jennifer Love Hewitt. This was the town of Grandview. They covered up those columns. They're still there, actually, behind the fake brick. Folks, this is the aftershock, the smaller movie. This is the big one. Left side, the ceiling is starting to crack. And a gas truck, where there's gas, there's gonna be fire. It's raining sparks on the right side. Cracks are forming in the foundation. The ground is coming up. And the tram is going down. Left side, the subway's right. Well, you can't have a 60-foot long sub with no way of washing it down. From Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. In a moment, we'll reach the center of this area. We'll come to a complete stop and you can stand up and take photos. It is a real plane. For those of you who flew here for your vacation, take a picture of it. Put it on Facebook and caption it with "At least our luggage got there." Let's say nothing for 3 days. That's the fun part. Here's a look behind the scenes in War of the Worlds. As we enter this area, we're going to look at the homes on the left, then we'll turn around and see all the houses on the right. The tan home coming up on our left was bright yellow during the filming of Desperate Housewives. It was painted recently for a film. It was actually home to Gabby, or Gabrielle, played by Eva Longoria. Their neighbors, Bob and Lee, on the series. And before that, the Munsters filmed there in the 1960s. Their neighbors were the Hardy Boys, and eventually Susan, played by Terry Hatcher. She moved to the yellow and stone house. She had a great neighbor. Her name was Lynette, and she lives in the house behind the picket fence here. She's played, of course, by Felicity Huffman, a brilliant actress. On the opposite side, we have the Blue and Brick House, home to Bree Vandekamp, played by Marcia Cross. Mike the plumber lived next to that. Eventually, Catherine Mayfair moved in, and Mrs. McCluskey in the Blue and White home, played by Catherine Jewston. At the end of the block, we have the house that was home to Edie Britt. But first, a look at Desperate Housewives.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor.
The home at the end of the block, as I said, was home to Edie, freshly painted for that film, Kitchen Sink. Here she is on your monitor.
What the heck? Let's do that!
We're going to check her out in action in just a moment.
All the way down the hallway until you get to the entrance. And so, and as you exit, all the years into the future that have yet to be named are left blank for all the future winners. So, and Muhammad Ali star will be right over there to the right as soon as you get in there. And then just up here on the right-hand side is going to be Grauman's Chinese Theater. This is where 90% of all the movie premieres that happen in Hollywood take place. So if you take a look over here to the right, you're going to see they got something going on today apparently. Because you normally get to go ahead and walk all up in there. So that's where all the cement imprints, of the hand and footprints are kept. So there's over 150 sets that they have. The most relevant ones are kept on display in front here. You ordinarily, now they're having some event today, so these people aren't allowed, but usually you're allowed to go ahead and go and just check them out yourself and like walk on top of them and compare foot sizes. But today apparently they got something going on. We'll have to check that out. But yeah, folks. So there's only one category for which you can receive a cement. This is actually going to go ahead and belong to his son right here, folks. But this here on the right is going to be the home of director Steven Spielberg. And so Steven Spielberg, hang on, I gotta share the view here. Hang on 1 second. Hang on, come on, I want to see it too. Come on. And so, yeah, there you go. Come on, go, hurry up. But yeah, so actually when we pull up to the gate, folks, we'll actually get to go ahead and see much more if you stand up and look over the gate, right? Because if you're sitting down, you're not going to be able to see that much. But that is it right over there on the right. So, and this here actually is the biggest celebrity signing we ever had in Rostabus history. So, I was here, I did the tour, we were coming by, and I'm just telling people about Steven Spielberg's house like it's any other day, and then the gate opens, and I was like, dude, I've never seen this gate open in my life. Like, and then I figured just like, you know, he had like it was just him by himself in a black Mercedes wearing the ball cap like he always is in every interview I've ever seen him do, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, it's very large white house here, folks, with the gray window shutters. This here, folks, was the former home of President Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, before he was the president or even the governor of the state of California, he was an actor here in Los Angeles, and he used to live right here with his wife, Nancy Reagan. Here on the right-hand side, folks, I have been a huge fan of this guy ever since I was a kid. And folks, if you guys have been fans of stand-up comedy over the years, this here on the right is the home of Bill Cosby. And so check this out right here. So right above the door, you will see a white C, and then the white C, of course, stands for Cosby. And then the name Ennis is written above the door as well. Ennis is the name of his son who was killed by the roadside, if you guys remember that. And so this right here, folks, he has this house, he has another house in Massachusetts. But he still travels the country most of the year doing stand-up. But we see him here like intermittently throughout the year. Here on the right-hand side, you're gonna go ahead and see a little bit more of it. Now, I would love to take you up there, but that's Arnold Schwarzenegger's house. And the governor does not appreciate anyone going up to his house, so much to the point that he bought every road that leads up to it. So if I were to travel on it, I get fined $500. So I just have to show it to you from right down here. So this is it right over there. It's a pretty nice looking house. Now, when he was the governor of the state of California, the capital of California is Sacramento. It's pretty far up north. And so he wouldn't live in the governor's mansion in Sacramento, he would live right here in his home in the Palisades, and he would fly back and forth 4 to 5 times a week by private plane out of Santa Monica Airport. And so, which he paid for out of his own pocket, thank God. This is going to be the home of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, folks. Check this out. Look at that fence. That's a nice fence, right? That is the nicest fence I've ever seen. Folks, now, unfortunately, Brad and Angelina really enjoy their privacy, so they have this enormous, like, wood barrier wall going all the way around it. But you can see a couple of, like, cool things, like, for example, like right here on the right, that's the guest home. So if you're a guest of Brangelina, that is where you get to stay, right over there.
Lots of convertible ones too.
Ja, det er ikke slut.